Hey there all you movie junkies, Twin Flicks here, always celebrating some of the best in cinema, and today we have a great Blu-ray to share with you from the early 90s and was hailed as one of the biggest flops in Hollywood at the time. But first of all, please remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to help this channel grow. So the movie we're showcasing today is none other than 1991's Hudson Hawk. Right here, that's it. And it stars none other than the man himself, Bruce Willis. Now, if you guys have never heard of Hudson Hawk, or you're not familiar with it, it is hailed as one of the worst disasters in Hollywood in the early 90s. It nearly killed everyone's career that was involved in the film, and Bruce Willis has never written a movie again, and probably for some good reason. I mean, what's happening there? I'm so confused when I watch this. This was a time where Bruce Willis was at the height of his career. He was the biggest and highest paid actor at the time. I remember seeing this back in the day and thought it was one of the dumbest movies I had ever seen. Well, how does it fare after 29 years? Well, I'll tell you.
Movie Review.
So looking at Hudson Hawk with 2020 eyeballs, it's still silly. It has really bad dialogue. Things happen that are completely bewildering. You're wondering, how in the world did this movie even get greenlit? Honestly, 29 years later, it's become a decent fun ride with a young Bruce Willis who back in the day actually cared about his roles. So yeah, I had a fun time with it and was entertained, and I'll probably be watching this again. It's funny how 29 years can change your perspective of a movie like this. It has some fun action scenes, some oddball banter, and some crazy action set pieces directed by Michael Lehman. Alright guys, now how does this Blu-ray stack up? I'll tell you.
Blu-ray Review.
So Millcreek Entertainment provides Hudson Hawk with a new HD 1080p transfer, a new DTS 2.0 stereo surround audio mix, and a 1.85:1 aspect ratio. Millcreek has used a well-preserved master given to them from Sony, and the outcome? Well guys, this is a smoking looking Blu-ray. The array of colors look bright and vibrant, especially at night with lights reflecting off the streets, to interior shots of Tommy's bar, to various rooms, and the third act in the castle with Da Vinci's machine all looks really good. The grain level is very rarely heavy. I did notice it more so in a couple of scenes, but overall it looks natural and fine. Guys, for an early 90s movie like this is a very solid, sleek looking video presentation. So how does this Blu-ray sound for us audiophilies? Well, when Hudson Hawk was shipped to theaters, it did include Sony's short-lived CDS multi-channel surround system sound that very theaters had at the time, and so majority of the time the film was sent out with a Dolby Surround mix, which is what is used here, but it's encoded as a DTS 2.0 lossless mix, which still surprisingly carries a lot of surround effects that are very effective. Dialogue is clear and crisp, although I did notice at times where you do have to boost up the volume more so than other times, but generally it's not an issue. And this audio track really comes into play with some heavy surrounds, which is generally used for ambience effects and music, but there are some big key effects during some action scenes with gunfire, gunplay, car chases, and the whole third act has some great action effects and Da Vinci's machine at the end that really does open up the soundscape. Also, I can't forget about the late great composer Michael Kamen's terrific sounding score. Sounds great on this. As for bonus features or extras, it is just a bare bones Blu-ray, which was a little disappointing. I was hoping there would be some, even if they just include some archival interviews, a making of, except it does include this really cool looking retro VHS slipcover. Yeah, this brings a lot of nostalgia value to the Blu-ray. So how do I rate Hudson Hawk Blu-ray from Millcreek? Well, I'm going to give the video a 4 out of 5 and the audio likewise a 4 out of 5. As for the film itself, back in the day, I hated this movie. It was awful, but now, almost 30 years later, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. Definitely watch it with a group of friends. It'd probably be even more entertaining. I'm going to give the film a 3.5. Well, that's our review for Hudson Hawk, the movie and the Blu-ray. I want to give Millcreek a thanks for sending us this Blu-ray to review for you guys today. Please remember, before you leave, hit that like button, drop your comments down below, let me know your thoughts on Hudson Hawk. If you saw it back in the day, what did you think of it? And if you plan on picking up the Blu-ray. And guys, we'll catch you next time.